Just 1 second. There we go. All right. Welcome to the dev stream. We're going to be working on our game that we haven't named yet, but it's a roguelike for Game Like Jam 7. I didn't put it up on screen, but it's for Game Like Jam number 7. We're making a roguelike. And we have 25 days. You know, a lot of days, but the time is counting down. We don't have forever. I said that I was going to be streaming Tuesday, and I do plan on streaming Tuesday, and I didn't think I was going to be streaming today, but I forgot that I'm actually not going to have that much time on Tuesday to stream. So it's going to be a short stream tomorrow, and I figured, well, I have a little bit of time here. I have some momentum. Maybe I should stream a little today, stream a little tomorrow, and then we'll have a big stream Thursday or definitely the weekend. We'll have a lot of time to really ramp up the game coming to shape. Because right now, this is what we got. We have a placeholder UI in the bottom left. And in the bottom right, we got a mob that moves towards us. We have a bunch of placeholder graphics. And that's, we can go through levels endlessly, but we're not really generating levels. We don't really have any content. We don't even have like good placeholder graphics. And I am definitely feeling bad about reusing the same sprite over and over. And I did do some quick look around for like, are there any free assets I could use that are like on point for what I'm trying to build? And I couldn't find any. I couldn't even really find any that like you could pay for that weren't like, I didn't look too deeply, but I may have to just spend some time and draw, probably on stream. It won't look good. Of course it won't look good, but it'll look more varied than what we have now, where the mob, the player, and the exit and the flashlight are all the same thing, just different colors. Can do better than that. For today, I don't plan on streaming for very long today and then tomorrow. So I've given myself a light list of things to do. We want to prepare for more complex level generation. And to do that, we're going to create some helper functions for ourselves. But before we do that, we're also going to do ourselves a favor and take the movement functions that we have right now. All of movement is handled in the movement handler, which is correctly named, but not something we want. We're going to move that so that movement is handled by a movement helper, and then the movement helper does all of the is this solid. It handles the pathfinding for us, and then we can just pass in either the player to move or we pass in a mob to move, and it handles everything else for us automatically. We want to decompose this logic right here. That's going to be the first thing we do. And then we're not going to write AI for our mob, but we're going to create the function and we're going to hook into it so that we can give the mob behavior like, hey, move towards the player, opening up the possibility for us to create more mobs that don't have that behavior. Maybe we have mobs that run away from the player. Maybe we have mobs that don't move, but they're like doing something. Stuff like that. And then we can, for now, we'll just put AI function. If you're a mob, your function is to move towards the player. That's it. We can build that up tomorrow. Create the move logic, put it in a movement helper, add a basic AI function for all entities. The player technically can have an AI function. It's going to be blank. The player is controlled by the player. It's not controlled by an AI. That does open the possibility of like having a demo mode, but we're not doing that. not for the game jam. Then we'll create some functions to help us generate rooms for the tile map layer. No, sorry, the level. Do we need this still? Is this a function that matters still? Does anything use this? Because we're making levels now. This might be a dead script. There's a couple ways to find out. Let's just, can I delete this? Let's print this function is being called. Print, oops, above the return. Print, also this function is being called. And if we're not getting called, we can just delete that function. And if the game still runs, you know, as we expect it to, then we can commit that. All right, let's try getting rid of this. Where is that? Tile map layer, we're not using you anymore, get out. Remove, deleted. Looks fine to me. Removed tile map layer.gd. Unused. Obsolete. Replaced by level gd. Commit. Okay. How about that? Move the move logic into the entity. So we've got entities, and I would like to have an abstract function here. Move. Do move. We can pass in the level. If we have the level, we can get the visibility handler, we can get the A-star grid, we can get everything that we need to handle movement. Actually, does this need to be abstract? Maybe it doesn't, because it's just going to be the same for everyone. The only difference is that players are not considered for pathfinding, and technically I could set it up so that the player is solid. The only thing is, if I do that, I think that damages the performance of the pathfinding algorithm. But actually, let's test that out. Pass. Cool. So we got this function. We're going to ignore it for now. A star. The visibility handler does not handle the A star grid. Can I refactor this? Is there a refactor? I would like to rename this from A star grid to like Pathfinder grid, but that's okay. So we're going through all of the tiles that have this ID, and we're setting them in the A star grid. And then for every mob, we're setting the A star grid. And then for player, oh wait, I don't need to do a for. There's only one player. A star grid dot set point solid grid mapper dot pixel to grid player dot position TML. Let's run that. This is not going to work because we don't know what the player is. To get the player, we need to go up, get parent, dot player dot position. Go to the main, and then in the main is the player. So the pathfinding still works. Okay, so I could move through the, hold on, there was a bug there. Oh, it's because we moved into the same position at the same time. That shouldn't have happened. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, I'm dumb. So I've set it here when the level is created, and then when my character moves, I don't change it. That's one of the things that I'm trying to, like, fix. Hold on, wait a second. There was a setting for A-star grids where you can set it to do partial, allow partial path. The bool by default is false. Cool. I don't want to be here. I want to go get ID path. When allow partial path is true and to ID is solid, the search may take an unusually long time to finish. This is what I'm worried about. If I set the player to solid, I can't pathfind it to the player. I mean, I can pathfind to the player, but it will make the search take an unusually long time to finish. My instinct is that that's not a big deal. We don't need to worry about it. But the documentation calls it out, and I'm just worried enough that I still want to test it, because it makes things so much simpler if I can just set the player as solid. Because then I don't have monsters moving into the player's space. There is actually a fix for that. Even if that is a problem, there's a fix. I could, instead of having the monster pathfind to the player, I could have them pathfind to the nearest adjacent space to the player. So if I go here, then we're in the same spot. And I don't like that. That is something that I can resolve. I don't need to test this out yet. I can just, let's move the movement logic into the entity first. All right. And this is going to only concern movement. So what we're going to do is we're going to take, anytime we set position, so we're not going to adjust this. This is fine. If the grid mapper dot pixel to grid mob position tile map layer target low, we can specify do move. This has a position. This entity has a position. I think I can access it just by typing position. Let me how to access Godot, how to access node 2D position, self. Using the built-in properties position. Okay, so I can just call position. I can just do like do move position equals position. I mean, I can do that because that's obvious, but to do a move, first we need a direction. And that is going to be a vector 2i. We know our position, but we do need to know the level so that we can grab the what is solid and what's not, the Not the visibility handler. What do I have tracking solidity? Nothing? I don't have a map for what is solid and what isn't. Don't have a list? I guess not. My head's cold. I'm going to put on my birthday or Christmas present. That's better. Okay, how am I checking for collisions? For mob and tile map layers, if... Okay, so every time I do a movement check, I am... If the target location I'm moving to is occupied, then it's occupied. Okay. So I need the list of... So there's no... I don't have a list that's like, here are all the mobs. I don't have the player. The player isn't present in the level. Do I need the player? It would be easier if I had the player in the level. But the thing is, I can call... If I'm the level, I can call getParent. Can I call level.getParent and get the parent of the level from the entity? So, okay, I need the level. Level is a level. Okay. All we need to do now is we take the movement handler code. We start here. We just start taking all this. We take all of this. No, this is collision code. We're not worried about that. We're just movement. Take all that, move that there. Okay. Okay, so we want a target loc. So we've been given a direction. Var target loc equals our position. Hold on, I can probably just steal this. Dir mapper dir. No. Player loc. Which is this. Pixel to grid. So we take our position, we turn it into a grid coordinate. We pass in the level here. Now we have the target loc. That's not true. We have the almost the target loc, but we need to add the direction to it. There we go. Now we have the target loc. Now this code should just work straight up as is. If level.getCell source ID target loc. Instead of doing all of this, since we have an A star grid, couldn't we use the A star grid to track what's solid and what isn't? Could we do that instead? Could that be more efficient? I mean, so it's not more efficient to use that instead of this if we had the choice of no pathfinding. But since we have to have an A star grid to do basic pathfinding, I mean, There's probably alternatives, but we're going to have pathfinding. Can we use that to get this for free without having to iterate through what are all the things? Possibly. So we have the level. Let's try that for now. Let's comment all this out. Comment all this out. I like how I wrote do a bunch of calcs here for future me to worry about. Level.a star grid dot. What does it return? What is this returning if I try and path it into a somewhere that is solid and is not allowed to do a partial path? That shouldn't matter because we're moving from where we are to like 1 square away. So the partial path, there wouldn't even be a partial path. It would just be you can't move. Entity.gd, okay. Get ID path. Sorry, I need to from vector ID to vector ID. From vector 2i to vector 2i. Okay. Well, we can make our life a little easier for ourselves. Var current loc equals grid to map. Okay, give me the ID path. We can just test out this code by do movement. Let's just call player.doMove. Print this because otherwise we're just executing it and throwing it away. And let's see what it returns when we try and move into a wall. Hopefully it returns null because we can check for null. And then we go over here to our movement handler. We get our player. We have a player already. Player dot move. Nope. Do move. We got to pass in 2 things. We have to pass in the direction, which we have. Oh, geez. Let's just only do it for left because I don't want to. And then we pass in the level. All right. Identify level not, isn't this the level? Oh, I'm sorry. Get parent dot level. Also, please let me save. Thanks very much. Thank you. Have a good day. Invalid access to property or key level on a base object. Is there no level in the main? What is it called? It's called tile map layer. God. Could I just rename that to level? Tile map layer is not a good name. Hello again, Art. Hey, Duckonomics. How's it going? We're just going to be cleaning up code today. I'm not going to be streaming for too long. So, actually, right now I'm experimenting on making the movement handler a lot simpler. It is potentially potentially it's going to be a lot simpler than what I was planning. Because we have pathfinding, we get collision checks for free. Tile map layer. Replace that. Let's call this level. I like level better. Especially because this object is called level. Replace all no undo. Does this still work? Do move. Cannot convert argument 1 from int to vector 2i. What is this returning? I'm sorry, this should be returning the vector 2i. Oh, this is the wrong direction mapper. Yeah, vector 2i. What? Wait a minute. Why isn't that working? Did I miss? Then this is the vector 2i. Cannot convert argument 1 from int to vector 2i. Argument 1 should be a vector 2i. Am I calling the wrong thing? Enums dot oh. Yeah. Okay, I get it. I goofed. I had a big goof. All right. This is still giving us a thing. We are... Oh, okay, there we go. That's an empty. So it's not null, but it is empty. Hold on. Okay, so is my starting position 2-7? Because I think that is my starting position, and then this is 1-7. It does include the starting position. That's right, it does include the starting position. But it does not include the starting position if my destination is solid. Okay, got it. Let's do, just as an experiment, just because I'm interested in learning more than I am in finishing this, going to sleep tonight. What if we make the allow partial path equal to true? What does it return then? It does return my starting location, but not the ending location. Okay. I don't think that's particularly... That doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. Okay, so back to this. So since we have done an A-star grid already, and we're keeping it up to date because we care about we care about pathfinding. We need pathfinding, so we don't need to bother with collision checks. We've already done that work. Let's just go ahead and do a collision check every time with the A-star grid. Could we wait? Is there actually hold on? Is there a way to just query this A-star grid and be like, hey, is that tile solid? That would even be faster than trying to do a pathfinding call. It occurs to me an A-star grid call. It should be pretty performant because it's literally adjacent, but it would be even faster if I could just say get solid is point solid. That's even faster. Hey, you know what? Forget everything I just said about doing this. We're not going to incur the cost of pathfinding one space. Level.astargrid.isSolid. Target loc. If not, oh, that works. Okay, great. I should not put this in parentheses. Okay, if this is not solid, then we boogie. If it is solid, then we return false. I don't know. We should probably return something, right? I feel like we should return something, but I'll come back to that. We don't have to commit. Okay, so we can skip all of this logic. If the level.get cell source ID target loc is some, if it's all that, we can skip all that. We get that for free. Let's just change the position equals let's change this to starting loc. There it is. We've moved. We can copy the tween logic that we've got going for us. Okay, I said player loc. Starting. Player sprite. Okay, this is a problem that I was thinking about earlier. So the player sprite has something. The player has something called the player sprite. Mobs have something called the mob sprite. It would be better if those were not called that. It would be better if they were just called sprite. And actually, it'd be better if entities had sprites. It would be better. I could define a function for entities. I was wondering, could I? Is there a way for me to just like, I'm just going to rename this to sprite and hope that that doesn't blow anything up. And then say entities have sprites. Okay, and I think this is going to blow up. And this is a question of like, in a statically typed language, this would fail every time because entities don't have sprites. But in a dynamic language, this succeeds when the player does it, and this succeeds when a mob does it. So, because mobs have sprites and players have sprites. So, identifier sprite not declared in the current scope. Did you mean to use sprite 2D? No, I didn't. Damn it. All right. There is a solution. It's not as elegant, but there is a solution. We declare an abstract function, get sprite. I don't know if I need to declare the return in this. I probably do. Sprite 2D. Cool. And instead of this, we just call get sprite. Okay, and then in our player script, func get sprite. Oh, why am I alternating? I prefer camel case. I prefer camel case. Deal damage. Oh. Oh no. I've made a mistake. I've been silently making a mistake. Oh no. Underscores. There's no camel case here. I guess I have to go all in on that then. Sorry, this is get sprite now. Consume oxygen? You're consume oxygen now. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, camel case. You had a good run. Return. This is the mob? No, this is the player. Return player sprite. And then I can actually go back to the main scene, and I can drag this right here, and it'll work because it's magic. OnReady var player sprite equals Player sprite. Wait a minute. Okay. Sorry. Having a brain thought. What if I, instead of typing get sprite, I just typed sprite like that, and then renamed this to sprite? And I renamed the mob one to sprite as well. And then we don't need this. Sorry. No. Hold on. Does that work? So this gets called when I hit left. This function is getting called when I hit left in the movement handler. Do move left. So what we should see is our sprite should go in the wrong position, because we're calling this function here and then we're calling this function elsewhere. So we're calling it too many times. So if this works, attempt to set modulate and base null instance on a null instance. Oh, find child. Why don't I just do that instead? This is a test. This is a test. Just to see if it works. But then find child clearly works. Okay, left, invalid, blah, blah, blah. What? Player sprite position. Okay, I think that is the problem there. Non-existent function consume oxygen. That's right. It's non-existent. That never happened. Okay, so our sprite is not getting sent to space. Get child sprite. So this didn't work. This might. Where was I calling mob sprite before? What was it? Get child? Cannot pass a value. Okay. Find, where did I use get child, please? It works here. Oh no, this is the thing that's not working. Find child. My bad. Oh, and I called the item sprite too. Why is the sprite not getting destroyed? What? Hold on. I'm confused. This is getting called. I'm certain of it. Is it because, okay. If I comment out the sprite moving thing, yeah. Okay, we should get, our sprite should, okay. If I move down, no tween, but our sprite is updating. I don't know. Let's just assume it works and proceed. And then when we run into a problem, var tween. Tween. Okay. We comment. Okay, so I think this is working because when we move left, we get a tween, and when we move any other direction, we don't get a tween. So I'm gonna say, yep, we did it. And then what we can do is we've got do move. We're not done, but what we can do is we can stop relying on this function. Sorry, we can stop relying on this function and switch on over to doing moves through this. We might not need the target loc. The idea is that we get rid of the target loc. Don't need it anymore. Down. Okay, so we get rid of the tweening here. This doesn't happen anymore. We don't need it. I think we're tweening. Yeah, we're tweening. The true test will be if we can call mob.doMove instead of this. Instead of this, do we get tweening for free? Okay, we give it that. Wow, that's actually level. Yeah, there we go. Let's watch. Oh, it instantly crashes. Non-existent function do move and based node2d mob.gd. I'm pretty sure this extends. This doesn't extend entity. Are you kidding me? I never did that. Shame on past me. Mob.gd must implement entity.deal damage and other inherited. Is there a reason that this is an inherited function? Why is this abstract? Oh, it's because of the quit tree. Because this ends the game. I would prefer if mobs, when they die, they don't end the game. Fair. Right. This dot get queue free. Does that work? Invalid access of index 0 on a base object. Ah, shit. I hope this isn't because it's dying instantly. Hold on. Because I don't have hit points declared. Print ack. I'm dead. Oops. That's not why it's disappearing, right? No, it's not. It's because something to do with this move. Okay, why is that happening? Mob.doMove. That should make this guy move. Print. What? I'm telling it to move to space. That would be why. I actually don't need this grid mapper. I should probably have a check. What? Why is this still happening? Oh, it's because my print is still... My print is still drunk. 5499. Why is he... Can we print the path? Okay, 555453434232. That is not 54. where am I sending this guy to? It should be going to 5-4. Mob.doMove. Did I? Oh, I'm passing in. I'm supposed to be passing in a direction, and I'm passing in where to go. Okay, so first of all, is there a way to Godot crash? Throw exception. Use the assert. Push error. Assert direction dot x is less than 2 and direction dot x. Can I do this? Can't do that, no. And -2 is less than direction dot x. Assert direction dot y is less than 2, and -2 is less than direction dot y. Sanity checks. That means we need to calculate a direction for this guy to move. We can't just give them coordinates and then manually move them. Okay, so that's easy. We just take the existing path and subtract it from. We take their starting point and we subtract it from their next point, and that should give us a direction. Cool. It's wrong, backwards. I got it backwards. Path 0. There we go. There we go. Uh-oh. Okay, so we're getting there. We're getting there. I would like to take this logic and move it into here. Let's go ahead and, so we're tweening, but before we move the sprite position, before we change the position, let's take level dot a star grid dot set point solid target loc, nope, starting loc false, because it's no longer target loc. True. All right. That should keep our pathfinding locked in. Invalid access of index 0 on a base. We don't need this anymore, so I'm just going to comment it out. Invalid access of index 1 on a base object. That is probably happening because the player is now solid. I would like for the player to be solid. My solution to this was it would be helpful if we had a function, a helper function, that gave me direction. So in the direction mapper, if we had a static func map vector get vect, we pass in two vector 2i's, starting point 2i, ending point vector 2i. This returns a vector 2i. And then we take our starting point and we subtract it from the ending point, and that should give us a vector direction. Other way around. We take our ending point and we subtract it from our starting point, and that should give us a vector direction. So if we're at 5, 5, and we want to know which way takes us to 2, 2. If we take 5, 5, if we take 2, 2 and subtract 5, 5 from it, we get -3, -3. And then we need to bring that down to -1, 0, or 1. What's that called when you remove the when you round down to 1 or -1? That's not, round is not the, what is it called in math? When you reduce a number down to 1. Simplify? That doesn't sound right. Reducing to 1 in fractions. No, it's not. Is there... down to or negative? Just change a number equal to 1. I want to keep the negative. Square root, no. Reduction? No. I don't know. There's probably a fancy word for it. Return ending point minus starting point. This gives us a vector 2i, and then we... Can we do this? Can we just subtract 2 vector 2i's, and then this will just figure it out? Clamp. Clamp is probably what I'm thinking of. Max. Snapped. Clamp I. Abs, no, opposite of abs. Abs gets rid of the negative or positive, and I want to get rid of everything but the negative or the positive. Distance to, length. The fact that there's a distance function is very good to know. Max axis index. Min, sine? Sine! That's exactly it. Sine. Give me the sine. Yes. There it is. Sine. Boom. Get direction. Get vect is get dir. No. Sorry, I wanna finish looking through the list of things here, because I see there's an operation for minus, so you can subtract a vector 2i from a vector 2i. I just want to make sure I'm not like reinventing the wheel. Like sine is there, which is great, but can I just take a vector 2i, pass another vector 2i, and it'll be like, that's left. No, it's fine. I think what we've got is good. Get direction. Dir mapper get direction. Okay. So, well, we don't need this anymore. Let's get that out of here. Don't need that anymore. We're not trying to move to where the player is. We should not try that. That is silly. We should try to move to next to the player. So let's get the, okay, we've got this path, but before we take a path, mob in level.mobs. Instead of this player position, target loc equals position, pick grid mapper dot pixel to grid, turn the player position into a grid loc coordinate. Then we get the direction of it. From the mob's location. All right, this is annoying. Our target player loc equals okay, so we get, there's already a player loc. If there's already a player loc, then what am I doing? Yeah. Well, the position may have changed, so I do want to update it. For now, this logic is going to get moved anyway, so we get the direction, and then we take the opposite of that direction. Times -1 plus the player location. Mob loc, target loc. Okay, that should work. That should give us, let's actually print what the path is. That should give us a path to the nearest space next to us. It'll probably target the corner. So if I move left, it should target here. And this is 0, 1, 2, 0, 1, 2, 3, 2, 3. Yeah, that's where he's heading. Why did that crash? Oh, it's because you can't path to me because he's adjacent to me. This doesn't work. Because yeah. Invalid access of 1. All right. So we should have a check here if path is not null. Dot length is greater than 2. Greater than 1. How do I, what's the size of an array? Oh no, that's not what it's complaining about. There we go. Okay, so if our array, like invalid, okay, sorry. What is, how do I tell the length of an array? Godot, how do I tell the length of an array? Size. Smart. Okay. Look at that. It didn't walk into us. And it didn't crash the game. Amazing. Okay, but there's a bug. Oh no, there is not a bug. Just kidding. I was wrong. Oh, that's a bug though. Hold on, can we reproduce that? So it should be trying to path. So okay, I'm to the right. So it should be trying to path to this location. But there's no, I see no path. Print path. Oh, actually, we don't need to do it in the if statement. So there's something wrong is going on. This should, okay, so when I go here, it should pick up that the mob needs to go to the right, which means that it will pick the space to my left, which is right here. It should path me, not me, it should path the mob here and here. So the mob should be encouraged to go here, but that's returning blank. All right. What is target loc? Target loc is 4.3. That's not right. Oh no, it is. I don't want the target loc. I actually want the dir mapper get direction. Dir is, look at that. I want to see which direction this thing thinks I should be going. Dir is 1-1. Dir is 1-1. Dir is 1-0. Okay, so 1 is left on the x-axis and 1 is no, wait a minute. That's not true. Left is -1 and up is -1. So it's going down and right. Down and right. Okay, so dir is 1-0. So okay, so he's moving to here, to the space to my right, which is correct. 1 and -1. Okay, so it's moving to this space, which he's there now. Congrats. Okay, this looks correct. But what happens when I do this? Dir is -1. Left. 1. Okay, so he's being encouraged to go into this wall. And the algorithm should just reject the movement in that case. Dir is -1-1. Oh, okay. So he's getting encouraged to move into this wall. I see the bug. Okay. So my logic is too simple. It is detecting that this is the direction. They program to find paths that go around obstacles. It's using the A-star algorithm. So whatever A-star is doing is what it's doing. What we could do is all right, you know what? Instead of doing all this direction stuff, this function is fine. I don't mind having it. But instead of doing all this direction stuff, what if we just eat the performance penalty and we let it do partials. This should fix the problem. We're still printing the dirt, but we're not using it. Yeah, that fixes the problem. Yeah, he's still locked right onto me. Yeah, okay, that works. It doesn't seem like that's much of a performance hit. I don't know if this helps with Y is backwards in Godot 2D. Yeah, I know. It's all backwards. I would expect... No, X is not backwards, but Y is backwards. We can just let this be... We can just permit partial interception, or partial pathfinding. And then it works. Oh, I can't walk through you. Oh shoot, I'm being blocked. I'm being bodied. Okay. I was decomposing this function. We've got a movement function. And oh. The thing I forgot about. We need to make sure this is moving smoothly. Yeah, it looks like it's moving smoothly. Yeah. Before it was not moving smoothly, so this absolutely works. Okay. Coming soon, we're going to need to have attacking logic, and I don't know how that's going to work. Traditionally, moving into an enemy is how you attack it, and I want that, but the way we have it set up now, if you try and move into a space that's solid, it's considered a wall, yo. And I don't know. We don't need to worry about that right now. We've got the move logic moved to the entity. This is it. Is there anything else we need to take? We can so we don't need this. Let me just confirm that. That was curious. So there's a mob in the way. There's a mob on the exit, but I could still go into the exit. Because I know why that's happening. It's fine. We'll fix that. This is a collision check. I would like this collision check to not be here. I would like it to move into the... when you move. When this entity moves into a space that contains an item, call a signal. We have the item. We can just give the item, like, when you step on me, do a thing. We have the item right here. Func on collision. Pass. And then we just call the on collision. Actually, we can just take the logic here. We should probably call Q free last. So an item has an item type. Great. We should be telling the item what is causing the collision. Collider. Entity. And then the entity. Is there a way to see if an object belongs to a class? Godot, how do I tell if an object belongs to a class? Get class. That's fine, but I think there's a better way. If your map object extends node 2D and enemy extends map object, then you can check the instance if instance equals preload. Is. If you name your classes, let's name our player. I think we've done that already. No, we haven't. Class name player. Okay, so now we just have to say is for the item. If collider is player, it has to be that because it's a class. Player.vision, collider.vision. If collider is player. Did I goof? Class name? Class name item. Okay, why is this? Can I not call it a player? Why is this not coloring? There we go. Now it's coloring. What changed? Collider.vision plus equals 2. Okay, that shouldn't work because the entities don't have a vision thing. Only players do. So we need to cast this collider to player. How do we cast? Godot cast object. As. The is keyword as a type check, as a typecast. So we can say collider equals collider as player to cast it. I would expect this to work. Nope, that does not work, but the AI says this works. So let's try what if we do that without that, and then nope, don't free the collider. Q free. Delete this. Does that remove it from an array? How do we tell an item to stop existing when it's in this array? If we do Q free, does it disappear from this array? No, that probably leaves a reference to a freed object, which is then, as soon as we call it, it'll crash. So we need to remove it from this items. We can create a signal. Let's do it. Let's create signals. Okay, signal delete item. Remove item. And we need to have the item. Item. Or do we? This isn't emitting the signal. This is receiving the signal. This is emitting the signal. func remove item dot emit this self me. How do I reference myself? Godot self reference self. It's actually just self. There we go. That means we need to register this signal with the level whenever we create this item. Does this create the item? Are we doing that? That's handling in a level generator, right? This is the level generator. Here it is. Item dot register Godot signals how to do. Connect button. Okay, I want to do it in code. I don't want to do the GUI. Connecting a face signal via code. Cool. Call the connect method on the timer's timeout signal. Item dot it's probably item dot delete. Where is it? Oh, you're gonna make me go over here. Remove item. Dot connect on item remove on remove item. And then we have to declare a func on remove item, 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 items dot remove item. So do array question. Can we just remove from an array and it'll remove that? Is remove a function? It is not. I invented a function. Remove at. No. Erase. Okay, it should work. We're not done because we haven't done our movement handling the entity. Has no I don't need this function. Entity has no collision check. It does not call. Okay, if I'm standing on an item, call the I've collided with that item function. Because I haven't even finished writing this yet. But theoretically, we should be able to just pop that off. Go back here. Cool, look at that. I should just put this here. I only care about collisions from the player. I don't care about collisions from anyone else. So we'll do that. This might need to go here. geez, this cannot be here. I can't generate the next level here. Oh, okay. How am I going to do this? Where did I take this from? Here? The movement handler. That should be a main function. What level I'm on? The level should be held here. Let's move the entire logic here into main, into a signal. Items will emit this signal. End level. We don't actually need to send anything, I don't think. We don't need this. We don't need this. I think we just emit the signal. And level dot emit self. No, we don't need to emit self. We just emit that. I don't even know if we need to queue free on these things. Because the level is getting freed. So if I free the level, does that, or if I queue free the level, does that actually, let's find that out right now. Queue free Godot, does it affect child objects? It might work, so I don't need to call queueFree here. Theoretically, unnecessary. We just do that and then we move on with our lives. We'll stop existing shortly after we call this function because the level will disappear. Map. We need to get the level registered in the main function. That's easy. That is easy. We can do that. When we create the level, let us connect item dot. Wait a minute. We can't call connect on behalf of another item, can we? Can I? Okay, Godot signal remotely connect. Because I want to connect this to main, but I want to do it from the level. Is that a thing? Am I crazy? I'm crazy. This is obviously crazy. I've got this item here. It has the ability to end the level, but I need to tell someone, and that someone needs to be aware of the, okay, what I can do is I can just create a function, register exit. Func, register exit. Item, exit, item. Right. Pass. We'll just call register exit and then item exit dot. What is the signal I'm sending? End level dot connect. Too few arguments for connect. Oh, I need to pass in the function that it's getting called. On level end. Func on level end. There we go. So all we need to do now is go to our level. When we make this thing, where, oh, here it is. Get parent dot register exit. That's not the function. What was the function called? What did I just type? No, it was register exit. I'm sorry. Item. Boom. Oof, okay. Problem solved. Oh, and then on level end, we need to take all of this logic and put it there. Var next level equals preload. A new level. Level.add sibling next level dot init vector. Sure. Get parent dot level. We don't need that anymore. This is the parent. Maybe what instead we do is we movement handler. Dot level is next level. Player position gets reset. Okay. Theoretically, that should be it. We don't need any of this anymore. We've just migrated functionality. We haven't created any new functionality. Expected indented block. That's right. You expected that, didn't you? We don't need any of this. Okay, the flashlight doesn't work. The exit doesn't work. Okay. It's probably because we're not calling the collision thing yet. That's right. I need to do that. Okay. We've moved, and now let's call the level.item for item in level.items. If item.position, where is that logic? Item.collide on collision. Item.collision. Do collision. No. Collision. There we go. We don't have the entity. This is the entity. Self, not this. All right. There we go. That should make collisions work. That did work, and then this immediately crashed. Invalid access to a property. Okay, so did that function not get called? We attempted to access the flashlight after it had been queue-freed. Did this function get called? Remove item emit self. Print. I'm getting called. It's not getting called. That's not registered. On remove item. Okay. How am I doing this wrong? Connect on the timer. Okay. Signal health changed, old value, new value. Okay. Health changed, emit, old health. All right, how do I register this signal? Item.remove item.connect. Okay. Encode. Using the signals encode. Please. Func ready var timer equals get node timer. Timer.timeout.connect. Is the signal timer? Timeout? .5. Signal health changed, new health int. Okay. Health changed. On player health changed. This syntax looks correct. Oh, there's a way for me to see what's connected. That's right. Print signals.connected. Godot. See registered signals. This debugging happened yesterday, so it's still fresh in my mind. How do I signal? Detect. Connect, disconnect, emit, get connections. That's what it is. Get connections. Tell me about all these connections you have. Cannot call this on base self. Why not? Well, where is it found? Has connections? What? There's no signal string name. Okay. Yeah, I will pass that in. You got it. Where's the level? There it is. On remove item. Or how about remove item? That's the signal I care about. False. Remove item, item, item. Kind of hate how children in repair node are sorted bottom to top. It's more hard to get used to than dash Y. It's a random thought. This is not connected. Why isn't it connected? Is it because it should be on remove item? Still false. Get signal connection list. Remove item. Bro, crazy! I just heard of Godot today. Trying to make my own roguelike game. Yeah, join the game jam. 100% endorse. Plenty of time to join. Water's warm. Invalid access to property. What? Oh, right. That's right. Because the thing is not being called. Because this is empty because there are no signals being set. Why is that? This level is being generated. Okay, wait a minute. Something just occurs to me. Invalid assignment of property or key level with value of type tile map layer on a base object of type node. Okay, I'm not ready. I'm not ready for that. I need this to work first. So we're calling this function. We're not getting this signal, but we're calling this function. Oh, wait a minute. I see the problem. I don't know why that signal wasn't getting registered, but I see why picking up the flashlight did not. I'm getting called. That works. All right. Now let's figure this out. Invalid assignment of property or key level with a type tile map layer on a base object of node. Okay, so movement handler is not a node. But it is, so whatever. We can't access the level. Oh, there is no level. This doesn't have a level. Oh, I don't need this line at all. There we go. Why was the entire level visible? Uh-oh. I'm going to give myself more hit points. Why is the entire level visible? Why was that visible and now it's not visible anymore? Okay. It's because I'm doing this something in main. That was the change. Oh, we should probably call init first before we do the level. Sibling addery. Attempt to call function register exit in base null instance on a null instance. Okay, so we can't register this if we're not a parent. So we actually do need to add it as a sibling first. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. that means that this won't return, this won't get to the main. This is getting to the previous level. So we can't init it until we queue free. We actually need to do this way later so that level exit gets connected correctly. But that doesn't solve the problem of why is the level starting like this? What we could do is, I think we can say like next level dot visible equals false. And then next level dot visible equals true. We can do something along the lines of put this here and then we move the player and then we call update to redraw visibility, level.redraw visibility. Yeah, that should fix that. Expected an argument. What argument does it? Oh, it takes the player loc. Okay, that's fine. Does this need that to be, it's a vector 2i. Okay, so this needs to be grid mapped. It technically doesn't. We can just pass in the vector 2i that we have already. But in the interest of making this more robust, we're doing it like that. Oops. There we go. That should work. Problem solved. Yeah, okay. Almost. We gotta pass in the player's vision. Cool. Okay. How much more can we rip out of here? We don't need any of this anymore. Oh, and there's the redraw visibility that I needed to copy over. Okay, so we're telling the mobs to move here. Is it jam through itch? Yes. Game like jam number 7. Here it is. Grab that URL, pop it in, join jam. Simple as that. I don't know. Hit.emit. Okay. This shouldn't be here. Entities should probably either emit a signal or I need to create a new action, attack, and then have the entities do that. So we've got the move logic moved to the entity. I'm perfectly happy suppressing this, so our mob does not move anymore, because... Do I need this? What happens if I don't have this? I think nothing, yeah, nothing gets updated. Okay, so we need to move this as well. Into the entity, we have the level. All right. For mob and level mobs, hold on, I need to sneeze. This is more AI code. So we can just have motionless mobs for now. Player.consume oxygen, get parent.update UI. Those belong here, I think. Uh-oh. So, okay, if we do this, things are fine. Everything's fine. Nope. What? What did we ruin? Oh no. Tile. Movement handler. Level is get parent.level. Okay. Entity. We're passing in the level here, so we should be able to call level.notify runtime data update. We should be able to just call that like immediately. Oh, it's only getting called when we do a move now. Maybe that doesn't belong here. Maybe that actually does belong in the movement handler. Unfortunately, there's something here in one of these functions that was important. Important enough. No. I broke it. Uh-oh. This function, redraw visibility. Probably need to call that. You know you can comment on a block by highlighting and pressing Control K. I did not know that. But thank you for letting me know. Let's test it. Yep. Maybe I needed this line. I deleted this line and that was a mistake. Okay. Yeah, okay, that was the mistake. The movement handler still needed to update vision. That's not quite right. That's not quite right. We've got a simple algorithm. We can update it a little. We'd need to do like ray tracing though. Okay. For now, I think we can claim victory. We've moved the movement logic. To entities. Do we need target loc still? We don't, so we can actually simplify these to being just that. We don't need this, but we'll save that for now. Cool. Still works for various definition of works. We got to fix this. That's actually something that I'm going to put as low priority, even though it looks wrong. It looks cursed. You know, work in progress. Next on our list, basic AI function for entities. Okay, so we've got AI. We've got to have this thing be able to do things other than move. I do want to actually separate this out more. I want to create like a move action. And then all of this logic is part of the move action. And then when we want to move, we just call a move action and it does all the rest of this instead of going through do move. But not the collisions. We don't want to worry about the collisions. I just want to take this logic specifically. Is there any reason for that? I'm just thinking now, like, is there an advantage to doing that? Over just having the movement be a thing that entities can do? Maybe not. Maybe this is like, I don't know. I don't know what I was thinking when I made this folder. Basic AI function for entities. Func. Each mob, I want to have its own, like, think. So, like, abstract func take turn, and then the player object needs to take a turn, and the mob object needs to take a turn. Func take turn, and then pass or return. That's something that mobs do. The player does not take a turn. Okay. Basic AI. So we take our movement handler code here and we say, okay, for X an array, for Y an array. I guess we're going to take the array as well. Hit.emit. Do we have access to the level as an entity? I don't need this signal anymore. What I want to do is attack adjacent squares. And so we've got this array. So we're gonna take our position. We have a position. You don't need to do this for. We do have a position, but we don't have a level. Take turn. I gotta pass in the level. That means that the entity needs to pass in the level. And it means the player did not. So we've got the position and the level. We don't have a target loc. Level dot. How do we get the player from the level? Level dot get parent dot player. The parent of the level is main dot player dot position, and then we need to turn that into dot pixel do grid. Pass in the player position, and then we pass in the level. All right, and then we compare that with the player loc. And if it's successful, we have the player. Player dot deal damage. Okay. All we need to do now is in our movement handler, get rid of this, get rid of these. For mob and level.mobs, mob.take turn. That should restore the mob doing damage to us. Oh, I need to pass in the level. All right. That should restore the mob doing damage to us. If we stand near it, yep. We're taking damage. Now we need to get it to take... to get its movement back. After we turn damage, we say we're done with this turn. We're not gonna keep going. Otherwise, do we have the mob position already? We should. Okay. That should be it. We get a path from where we are to the player. And if that path is not null, we follow. Yep, we're moving again. So all mobs have this behavior. Rudimentary. We're going to want to have mobs that do things other than this, but we have this take turn function now. And we can roll with that. We can override this to make mobs that do things other than that. This is not supposed to be a creature. This is supposed to be a template for a creature. And this is also not supposed to be an item. This is supposed to be a template for an item. But for the purposes of Game Jam, it might be fine just to put all of the mobs in this thing and then just say, okay, if this is a mob 1, this is its behavior. If this is mob 2, do a different behavior. That's ugly, but that could be the world we live in. I am going to say that that is basic AI function. That's what I meant by that. If that's not how it's interpreted, that is what I meant. Where we just have a function and we call the function and the mob takes its turn. We need a room generator now. Because right now, the way we generate a room is we call this function generate level. And generate level is just hard-coded to generate a very the same level every time. And it's gonna keep doing that, but we want to make some functions to give ourselves a little more headspace so that we can generate more interesting levels. So can I move any of these functions somewhere? Nah. Where's level.gd? There it is. Why is that not in the source? Okay, we've got enums and direction mapper. Let me add another folder here. Utility. Oh, before I proceed, I should do a check-in. Okay. Let me get my utilities and move them into the utility folder. Entity can stay. Enums, I think counts as a utility. Grid mapper, that's a utility. Level, not a utility. Movement and other, no, the rest of these are not. Okay, but we do want a new utility. New script. Room, level generator. Level generator helper. No, that name sucks. Generator helper, level helper. Level gen helper. Create. All right, this is gonna we're gonna just make some static functions. I want 2 static functions. One, I give it a level. generate room. I give it a level. I give it a vector 2i. Top left. Bottom right. Okay, and then what I want this thing to do is take my level. Okay, so we're doing that already. Here, we just need to for x in size 0. What is size? Where's that coming from? Do we need to know the size of the level? Can we just trust? Oh, no. That's getting passed in. Come on. For x in... Okay, so size of room equals... The top left corner is going to be the most negative value, and then the bottom right is going to be the most positive. So, first of all, bottom right minus top left. And then we need to check to make sure that this is a positive value. If size of assert size of room dot 0 is greater than 0, and size of room 1 is greater than 0. AKA we have not been given invalid whatever. Var. Okay, so for x in size of room. Why did I call it that? Size of room, whatever. Size of room. Okay. We want to start in the top left. So if the x coordinate is equal to top left x, or is equal to bottom right, is that right? So let's say we say the top left is 1, 1 and the bottom right is 5, 5. Can I just make a new? Top left is 1, 1. Bottom right is 5, 5. And the size of the room should be 4, 4. We want 1, 1, 1, 2. Oh no, what am I doing? What is happening? All right, screw it. 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, and 1, 4 to all be walls, and 1, 5 actually. And that's what this accomplishes. So 1, 1, 1, 2, 1, 3, 1, 4, and 1, 5. And we also want 5, 5, 1, 5, 2, 5, 3. Yeah, okay. And 5, 5 to all be walls. So that makes it so that we have a row of walls at the top and a row of walls at the bottom. And then if we reflect that logic with the Y, we should have a column of walls. 0. Bottom right. Oh, sorry, not 0, 1. Top left 1, bottom right 1. Okay. This should be correct. And then everything else should be a floor. Oh, and this was just for fun. That was just for fun, but we don't want that. Okay, so we can test this out. We take our level gen. We've got this handy little Control K. Instead of that, we're gonna call level gen. I need to name this. Class name level gen. Come on. Why is it not that? Why is it not changing color? It's fine. Dot generate room. Yeah. TML. Why are we calling it TML? We just are. Deal with it. Vect dir2i is 1 1 vector 2i 5 5. I'm pretty sure we're putting items outside of bounds. That's fine. Yeah, like we're putting this item here. What if we put this at 6 6 then? Just to make sure that doesn't happen. I think the exit. Oh, we're putting a mob at 5 5. We're putting the exit at 7 7. Yeah. So we'll have no exit, but we will have a mob. That's not right. That's definitely not right. What happened? Print XY. Tell me all of the things that are getting set as walls. Cannot resolve class level gen because of a parser error. Expected closing after argument. Oops. Okay, so we set a wall at 0 1. Why? That's not correct at all. We set it at 1 0, 1 1, 1 2, 1 3, 1 4, 2 1, 3 1, and 4 1. That's not enough walls. Why are we setting it at 0 1? Why are we even doing that? Because I probably spaced out and I size of room. That's why. Because okay, I'm an idiot. It should not be size of room. It should be size of room plus the top left. Plus the top left. There we go. Nope. I mean, this is still wrong, but it's wrong in a more interesting way. Oh boy, why is it this wrong? This is a little cursed. Okay, hold on. We got to debug. So I set it to 1 1. So 1 1 should have been the first wall, and it's not. Wall at. Okay, let's print what is oh, I forgot something important. We're just doing a for in on a number. And I'm surprised that anything is happening. But no, we need to do it on a range of numbers. There we go. No, this is still exactly as cursed. Okay. All right, what is print range size of room 0 plus top left 0? Okay, tell me what that is, please. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Right. Right, okay. Sorry. No, I'm still being dumb. The range is not from 0 to that. It should start at top left. And then it should go for top left to 0 plus the size of the room. That's what we should be getting. Just check that. Starts from 0, steps, increases steps by 1, stops before n. No, that's not what we want. Starts from b, increases steps by 1, and stops before n. B and n are inclusive and exclusive. That's fine. This should work, but let's just go ahead and do that. 1, 1, and 1. That should work. Nope, that's still exactly as cursed. Okay, here's the thing. Wall at 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. So that is correct, I believe. Level, we're passing in 1. Oh, we're going to 6, 6. Okay. I guess that's fine. No, that's not fine. So we actually need to make this +1. Magic numbers. Okay, that's correct. The level is even smaller now. No. Okay. If we print out the range for 1, 1, and 1 as well, we should get the same. And we do. Okay, so we're missing some things here. Wall at 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. Wall at 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. What am I missing? Okay, this is wrong in some non-subtle way. I think this needs to be +1. No, it doesn't. That's correct. If the top left equals the corner, or the bottom, if it equals the corner, or if the y equals... All right, let me just... Looking at x y. We're debugging. These work to my satisfaction. We can get rid of those. We don't need this currently. We should just get a pure list of numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, that's not correct. Where's the 6? Okay. this is correct. This tile is getting added manually, though. Was that the problem? I just didn't have a +1 there? Ah, well. I think this works. Let's try making a bigger 12 by 12. Okay, I'm tired of this mod. I'm tired of this mob. Let's not add the mob right now. Getting in my way. Okay, this is getting added by code, so that's correct. Okay. Invalid assignment of index 10 on base array with type int. Oh, we can't call this until we generate the level. Oh, wait, no, this is the visibility handler. What? Okay, visibility handler level. Okay, so we can't call this until we generate. We already generated level. On level end, generate level, TML, generate level. There it is. Generate room. I'm confused. According to this, invalid assignment of index 10 on base array with type int. So, wait, why is the level size? Oh, that's the default. Okay. Did we specify something crazy? Okay, wait a minute. Okay, so we're telling this to generate a level from where's the level generator? Generate level from 1 to 1 to 12 to 12. Okay. How big is the level that we're generating in main? 10 to 10. Okay, so that's the problem. We're generating a level that's too big. Or we're generating rooms, places where they don't exist. That's the problem. Okay, so easy solution. Let's just make this 2020. Don't tell anyone. I think this still works. Okay, but the real test is going to be, can we make rectangular rooms? Where's my level generator? Here it is. What if I do that? Maybe 8. That's a rectangular room. Is that rectangular in the right way? 8 is small and the y-axis here is smaller. So yeah, that looks right. All right, what do you make it 8 by 12? That looks right as well. All right, so we're doing it. We're making a level. Created level gen helper. Can generate rooms now. This will make thinking about room generation easier when the time comes. We have one more thing to do and then I'm done streaming. I've been streaming for 2.5 hours. Damn, I thought this would only take an hour. I get distracted easily. I have a problem. I don't need this. Yes, get that out of here. We are going to create a tunnel maker. That's super easy. No, it isn't. I actually don't know how to do this. 100%. Static func generate tunnel. Start, end, pass. We did it. No, I'm just kidding. So okay, so if these are both on the same x or y axis, this is simple. The question is, what do we do if they are on different axes? So like, I want to make a tunnel between 2, 2 and 7, 7. I'll have to noodle about that one. We can do something naive, though. Okay, so first of all, let's take a look at the easy case. If start dot 0 equals end dot 0, or if they're both on the same x coordinate, then we get the size, var size length of tunnel equals end dot we don't here, we don't have to specify that start is to the left of end, so we need to figure out which one is smaller. If start dot 1 is less than end dot 1, if start dot 1 is to the left of the end, then and 1 minus start. If we're making a tunnel from 0, 0 to 0, 7, the tunnel is 7 long. Yeah. Else length of tunnel. I suppose it actually doesn't matter if we make this an absolute value. Could have just made it an absolute value. Godot, how do you take absolute value of an integer? Abs. Boom. That should always work. Okay, now that we have the length of the tunnel, for x in range length of tunnel, let's use I, not x. First, we need to set the cells at the start of the tunnel and the end of the tunnel and every space in between to be floors. I shouldn't be making these 1s and 0s. I have a enum for this. Tile type, floor and wall. enums.tiletype dot floor, enums.tiletype dot wall. These should be loud. Okay, start dot 0 I plus start dot 0. Ooh. Oh. I don't know which one is smaller, so I don't know which one to start. So I'll start at the start one, but I don't know which way to go. Hi. Hello. I've got a thing that'll tell me which way a direction is. Direction mapper. Get direction. Tell me which direction I need to go. So if the direction we need to go is positive, then we need to go right. And if the direction is negative, then we need to go left. So I just times direction. Okay. Sure, that should work. That should be enough to generate a tunnel. It's not going to generate walls, but you know what? I am good to just test to see what happens. So let's generate us a tunnel and see what we get. Actually, let's generate 2 rooms. We're going to do from 9, 1 to vect 2I. 9 plus 7 is 16. 1 plus 7 is 8. Okay. And then let's generate a generate tunnel, TML, vector 2I. Let's make it at 8, 8. No. 8, 4. These should be further apart. 12, 20. And then vector 2I, 2, 12, 4. There we go. That should generate a tunnel. It should generate a gap in the map, but whatever. Oh, cannot find. Oh, it's because that's supposed to be wall. You gotta shout that. Out of bounds get index. Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm sorry. Please generate a bigger level. 40 by 40. Thank you very much. Level. I think the first level we need to generate is bigger too. Yeah. No tunnel. Okay. All right. Where is this print? I want to get rid of it right now. I trust that you're getting called. We're good. Tell me about this level gen. No tunnels are created in the formation of this. Is it because let's print. Making a floor at oh, this logic is horribly wrong. I'm sorry. No, it isn't. Just kidding. I need to grab this whole thing. That's where my brain is missing. We might be creating this at the wrong place though still. Oh, this function is getting called. What? Generate tunnel. Hello? Did I call it wrong? Levelgen.generate tunnel. Okay, so this, we're not getting here. If start x, if the x's are the same, and they should be the same, aren't they? Oh no, they're not the same. That's the y. I got these backwards. I got these coordinates backwards in my head. That's why. Invalid operands int and vector 2i in operation. Oh, no. There we go. That is not where I expected that tunnel to be. That is not where I expected it to be at all. Okay, but we're making a floor at floor 0, 4, 1, 4, 2, and 4, 3. I did it again. I did the thing that I made the mistake up here before, where I'm like, I'm going to make a range. There. Well, that's not quite what I wanted. Making a floor 4, 0, 4, 1, 4, 2, and 4, 3. That's not correct. It should be starting at 4, 8 and going to 4, 12. Come on, math brain. Okay, first of all, yeah, but still, it's still not correct. 4, 8. Oh no, that is correct. Okay, I just don't know where the okay. I want it to go to the right. I'm not math brained. That's the problem. So I think the problem is I'm making the tunnel, and it's 4 blocks. And that's correct. This is correct. But the problem is I'm just putting this second room somewhere that it does not belong. Probably because I have my math brain on wrong. Okay. Start at 12. Does that work? I mean, okay, it does. I'm just not capable of imagining where this is in a grid. That's the problem. The function works. I'm the problem. Okay, so 412. If we move this over to 112, and then to 2020, I guess. So that's going to give us it gives us the room. I need to move it up one. Up on the Y. 11 to 18, 18, 18. Eight. There we go. That's what I had originally planned. That's a me problem. The function's fine. The function's fine. Let's keep making, because we just need to reflect this for if the y's are the same. Okay, just swap those. Or no, that we don't need to swap those. Instead, what I need to do is move this I. It's I times direction. There we go. Okay. Let's test this out by making another room. This one needs to be to the right of the first room. Vector 2i. So to the right, it needs to be like 12. The x needs to be 12. The y needs to be like 1. Vector 2i, and then 16.8, I guess. Should be safe. We don't have any overlapping rooms is my concern. That's 16.8? Wow, I made a small room. Whatever, it's fine, don't worry about it. We need to connect a tunnel to it. TML vector 2i from 8 to 4 to 12 to 4. Off by 1. All right. 13 to 4. Hey, there we go. All right, now all we need to do is not have gaps. So go back to the level gen helper. If okay, we need to okay, so this is it. This one is along the x-axis, so it's a horizontal tunnel. So we need to get the cell to the left and the cell to the right. We need to check them if level dot get cell Is this a function? Get cell? Set cell exists. Why not get cell? I would like to get the cell source ID, I guess. At vector 2i dot start I plus start 1. Oh, I should just tunnel loc. Make this a little easier to read. Tunnel loc plus grid mapper. Nope, not the grid mapper. Where's the movement function? Direction mapper. Dot dir enums.dir.left. If this equals null, then set cell tunnel loc plus that to wall. And then repeat for the right direction. All right, let's test it out. Let's see what we get if we press the play button. Do we get a sealed? Yes, we do. Excellent. And this will not overwrite floors. So if we make a tunnel in a room, it will not just like stomp all over the room. Then we got to take this logic and apply it to the opposite direction. Oh, but I need to take tunnel loc. Go ahead and take that. Sorry, take that. Instead of up and down, we're doing, or left and right, we're doing up and down. And that should do it. That should give us a fully sealed off tunnel. It didn't. All right. You got to think about this harder. Oh, no, I don't. Just got to indent properly. There it is. We have a fully sealed off tunnel. We have our tunnel creator. That's all I have planned today. Check this in. Created helper. Oh, sorry. There's one more thing. What if these are not? What if the X value and the Y value is not aligned? else Godot, how do you throw an error? Assert false, not implemented. We'll worry about that in the future when I know how to do it, because I don't know how to do it right now. I'll look it up. For now, we're just going to make straight tunnels. Future me gets to worry about it. Maybe that can be my entire project for tomorrow. Because it's going to be a short stream. I said short stream. This is still 3 hours. Wow. I created all this level gen logic. Create. Generate room and generate tunnel. Good luck to me. Future me is going to be taking care of that tomorrow. It's not going to be a long stream tomorrow, same as today. What I have planned is we've built these tools. Maybe we can make more interesting levels. Let's make the level generator a little less hard-coded and a little more dynamic. I'm going to go ahead and put that here. Make the level gen less hard-coded. That'll probably be all I do next time. That may include adding one for the player. So we'll have this generate random rooms, and then we'll put the player in one of them, but we won't commit to which one. I don't know how to format things in Obsidian. It's fine. This is it. I'm going to stop here. Thanks for watching, folks. I feel like this is... It's not coming together yet, but we're building the tools that will make it possible for it to come together in the future. So it feels like we don't have anything yet. This is what we have right now, and this is nothing. But this is certainly an improvement over what we had at the beginning of the stream. And I don't know, in a week, we should have enough regular stuff put down that we can start making like interesting content for the game / start to worry about the design. I'm hoping to be doing that this weekend. That is my hope. I don't think that we're going to have a lot to do, but we'll have something. We'll get this energy bar in here. We'll get a basic inventory management. This is already implemented. I don't know. We'll get messages. We'll make a game happen. All right. Let me see who I can raid. Who's making a game right now? Oh, there's so many, and it's so hard to tell who's making what. I promised myself I would figure out how to figure out who to raid, but it doesn't seem like... Can't really... Whatever. I'm just going to stop here. Thanks for watching. Hope you had a good time. Next time, I'll figure it out. Hope you had a good time. We're going to make this game. Sign up for Game Jam. Do it. Make a game. It doesn't have to be complicated. It doesn't have to be polished. Mine isn't. Jump in. Have a good one, y'all. Bye, everybody.